Hearts have the gap at the top of the table cut. Livy cut the gap at the bottom of the table, and both Old Firm managers Martin O'Neill and Danny Rowe keep their 100% league form intact. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football for our late out of date Tuesday morning Spfl review show. Lots of games to talk about, lots of incidents to talk about, and some interesting tables to look at. Is the Hearts bubble burst? Are Rangers beginning to get some momentum going with Danny Rowe? That is now 3 league wins in a row, and Livy picking up another big point for the second consecutive week. Finally got it out there in the end. But of course,
Hearts are finishing.
Well, I don't know. I'd consider that. Ukevens talks a load of shite, man. Hearts finishing second would be a success.
Absolute embarrassment.
Imagine saying a draw for Hearts against Dundee United is no a catastrophe. There's not enough between the two teams to suggest that.
Not ideal, I'd describe it as.
Anyway, he can put whatever pressure he wants on Hearts. We'll start with League 2. There's no pressure on this league. Nobody really cares. Still yet to see a fan from one of these teams comment on the channel. If you do support one of these teams, then let us know in the comments down below, because I'm really intrigued to see if we have any like Clyde supporters or Stranraer supporters, but I do feel a bit bad for the supporters of this game. It finished 0-0. Dumbarton beat Annan Athletic by 2-1. East Kilbride beat Stirling Albion by 2-0, getting back on track after 2 consecutive defeats against the Spartans, so big win for them. Edinburgh City, surprisingly in my opinion, lost 3-1 at home. They did well to get the gap back to, get their deficit back to 0 in the league. But ever since they got to 0, they began to go off the rails a wee bit and their form's dipped. So, yeah, I thought they had a chance of maybe still making the playoffs at this stage. It's kind of looking like, you know what, maybe just secure safety in this league for another season. And then Forfar drew with the Spartans, which is a big result, especially for East Kilbride, who claw a few points back on the Edinburgh side. So we'll now look at the league table. The Spartans have their gap cut from 6 points down to 4. Got Clyde there in third place with 18 points. Elgin with 4 points. Then you've got Dumbarton, Forfar, both on 13. You've got Stranraer, Stirling Albion and Annan Athletic all on 12. And then it's Edinburgh City on 3. So I mean, yeah, they're 9 points off of safety, but only 12 points off a playoff. So yeah, Edinburgh, when you look at it like that, then why can't they still make the playoffs? But I do think their form has dipped ever since they got back to 0.
The objective is always to get back to 0, but maybe it's took too much steam at them. Maybe it felt like that was the only objective, and then they've realised, oh fuck, we actually need to beat someone else. Because it looks like they're snookered.
And the problem for Edinburgh City is, at one point it did look like, I think Stirling Albion and Stranraer were struggling, but now they're kind of got, and there's no team that is falling off. There's no team that is, you're sitting looking, oh, that's going to be easy for them to catch. Listen, 9 points, lots of games to go. But I'm sure Edinburgh City would feel a lot more confident if one of the other 9 teams was doing absolutely shit, and we're maybe only sitting on 6 or 7 points.
No, yeah, totally agree.
The fact that there's been no disappointing teams so far, it means that Edinburgh City still find themselves cut adrift.
No need to panic yet, but if you're getting to like 20, I'd say match day 24, 25, and you're still a similar gap, then you can panic, but I think they'll be closer.
What I would say is after 12 games, I think you would expect the team in 9th spot, considering Edinburgh City had the points deduction, you'd probably expect them to have less than 12.
Yeah, I would say so.
The lowest placed team would normally be averaging less than a point per game. But for Edinburgh City, the lowest placed team is averaging a point.
The way they've got to look at it is they'd be joint third right now. If they did their job. And well, I say if they did their job, if they didn't go into administer the point. What was it? No, points deduction.
Yeah. Well, Dumbarton, they would be in third as well.
Well, that is true. So there you go. I mean, they're doing all right. So the 2 teams with points deductions would be sitting the exact same without them.
Yeah, maybe a 3-way battle for the playoffs between Clyde, Dumbarton and Edinburgh City. Right, moving on to League One. Hamilton big now. 3-0 win against Peterhead. Inverness 1-0 win against Cove Rangers. Montrose losing 4-0 against Alloa. Didn't really see that one coming. Queen of the South big win against East Fife 3-0. And a 2-2 draw with Stenhousemuir against Celtic Hearts. So I just quickly glossed over League One there. And if you look at the league table, like I said, you've got teams here that have played 13, one game more than League Two, and you have two teams with less than a point per game in Montrose and Celtic and Cove Rangers. For some reason, I just thought I assumed they had a points deduction. So you can see my point here. You've got three teams that are averaging less than a point per game. In the case of Celtic Hearts and Cove Rangers, it's a lot more than less than a point per game. So I do think that Edinburgh City, when you look at League Two, they'll probably think they're a bit unlucky that they're not closer to the 9th place team.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, isn't it, though? You're right, because this normally happens. Remember it a couple of years ago, was it Clyde? Who else was it? Clyde and Peterhead at the bottom of the league? They were both fucking no points.
And that was towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
They still had a very low points tally.
Aye. I mean, we're talking, I think it was barely above 10.
Listen, I don't think Edinburgh City will be panicking, but I do think if you say to them, 12 games in, you'll have 3 points on the board, you'll have made up the 15, so you'll have scored. I don't think they would have believed that they'd still be 9 behind the next closest team.
The ball is rolling. Just make sure you don't fumble it and they'll be alright.
Aye, no fumbles. You want to see fumbles, guys, tune into the channel membership. We've got a Madden career going and you can see, well, I say a Madden career, a Madden franchise, and you see all the fumbles you want.
The 49ers.
And that shite. Yeah. Right, Dunfermline 2, St Johnstone 2. Late equaliser here for Andrew Todd. Neil Lennon was doing the whole aeroplane celebration, and he wasn't happy once again with the refereeing decisions. He has asked, is it Sam Nicholson, not to referee any more Dunfermline games? I think that happened with Rangers once. I think they asked for John Beaton not to referee any Rangers games, and that doesn't tend to work. So yeah, I don't think Neil Lennon's going to get his wish.
Well, was it John Beaton? I don't think it was John Beaton.
Who is it then?
Was it no Frank Connor?
I don't know.
The VAR official?
No, it was before him.
So hold on.
There was another referee before him. Rangers asked.
It was no way it was John Beaton, because John Beaton's on it.
Well, you should know who it was. You're the Rangers fan here.
Well, you know, I don't blame fucking referees. When do I blame referees?
Oh well, you call out their mistakes.
Which is not blaming them though. What's the difference?
Well, Neil Lennon's not blaming them. He's calling out their mistakes, and he obviously thinks this Sam Nicholson guy has made one too many.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't watch enough of the film.
No, was it Clancy? There was somebody Rangers definitely asked.
Kevin Clancy. I know there was someone, but I couldn't remember if it was John Beaton. No, it definitely wasn't John Beaton. He's the only one. It's no. He's brother John.
He seems surprised as if Rangers didn't do that.
No, I knew it was someone. I think it was Kevin Clancy. I think you're right, but it wasn't.
I know my stuff, guys. Right, 2-2 draw there. Greenock Morton, the draw specialist. Well, not today. 1-0 win over Arbroath. Arbroath are being touted as the underdog package of the season, but they've lost to Greenock Morton, the draw specialist. So happy to see Greenock Morton get a win. I want to see Doug Emery do well this season. So nice wee win there for
good win
for
because Arbroath have done well.
Queen's Park 2, Raith Rovers 1. Josh Fowler getting a brace there to beat Raith, and honestly, I'm beginning to think that, what's his name? Barry Robson. Yeah, I think that, I don't know, his time could be up.
It's all over.
It's just not, it just hasn't really delivered.
Rank rotten.
Another failure for Ross County. Yes, went behind early on, but Ronan Hale and Jordan White gave County a 3-1 lead at home. Really should be seeing that out. They didn't. They end up drawing it 3-3. Lucky not to lose it in the end. It's just one bad result. And yes, it's a bad result. Ayr's a good team, and I actually predicted Ayr to win, but when you're 3-1 up with less than half an hour to go, and you've got the momentum, you could argue here, if you're 3-1 up and you just concede it, then you're a bit shaky or whatnot, but you've scored 3 in a row. You're on top. You've got all the momentum.
No, yeah, no, I totally agree.
Even though people would argue 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline, people would say 3-1's the same. In terms of, there's only 2 goals in it. Ross County should have seen this out.
I want to counter that, right? See this whole 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline? That is such an outdated term, by the way. That's when football was fun. and interesting. How many teams do you honestly see in the big 2025 throw away a 2-0 lead?
Yeah, not many.
No, I think that's a 90s, 2000s kind of gimmick. That doesn't happen
The
anymore.
majority of good teams see it. If they get a 2-0 lead, they win the match. That's what. Yeah, look at. I think the proof's in the pudding when you look at bookmakers. Bet365. How many times do they pay you out now if a team's 2-0 up?
Yeah.
Because
no,
if you're 2-0 up, you should win the game.
Just look at our own league, man, right? Look at Celtic. See if they go 2-0 up, when do they draw or get beat? See Rangers, see when they go 2-0 up, when do they draw or get beat?
When do they go 2-0 up?
That's why I was kind of restraining myself there for saying Rangers, but the point still stands.
Right, anyway, Airdrieonians 1, Partick Thistle 1. Partick Thistle late equaliser with Oys and Smith. Airdrieonians, I think, will be very disappointed with that, especially when you factor in the team that they're more likely to be battling against went and picked up a win, Queen's Park. So, yeah, disappointing for Airdrie. Could have had, would that have been their second successive win in a row?
I think it would have been.
Should have got rid of Danny Lennon a long time ago.
Danny.
Yeah, so you can see at the bottom now, Airdrie, they get a point, but they don't close the gap to Ross County, and they actually lose out on 2 points to Queen's Park. So, pretty big. Greenock Morton also picked up a win, so that was just a disaster, wasn't it, for Airdrie? Greenock Morton, Queen's Park, both getting wins, and Airdrie had a win in their sight and then gave it up at the last minute. Top of the table, Partick, fortunate after, scraping that late draw, they end up having St Johnstone lose a late goal to concede and draw. So, Partick could have been on another day. You take away injury time and they could have been 6 points behind St Johnstone.
Yeah, so they'll count their lucky stars that they're not.
Arbroath with a defeat, still sitting in 3rd. Dunfermline 4th, Ayr United 5th, Raith Rovers 6th. It's an interesting table. I still think the top 2 will probably be St Johnstone and Partick. As for the playoffs, I think it will be Dunfermline and Ayr. But if Arbroath can hold on, then fair play to them. I just don't.
What I would say is I don't see Ross County finishing in the playoffs. Right?
Well, they're only 7 behind, but I just don't. There's no suggestion that the form's going to.
Honestly, man, it would be so refreshing to see Partick, Arbroath, Dunfermline, Ayr, Raith, Greenock Morton, or Queen's Park in the playoff rather than Ross County.
You don't sound too refreshed about it, to be honest.
No, but it would be, though.
Right, well, fair enough.
I don't
any closing thoughts here on this?
I'd rather Ross County up than St Johnstone, but that ship sailed a long fucking time ago.
Aye, listen, St Johnstone getting back into the league just doesn't really do anything for me. I don't like these yo-yo clubs. You want to see fresh faces.
Describe as a yo-yo club.
Well, no, but they've yo-yoed back in.
Fucking won more cups than your wee team.
How many cups have Rangers won recently?
Aye, same amount. I said they've won more. I didn't say they've won the same.
Right, well, let's just move on then to the league that matters, the games that matter. Celtic a 4-0 win over Kilmarnock. Now, on paper, this looks good, but when you actually see the Kilmarnock goalkeeper in action, the people are going to say, last week you blamed Scott Bay, and this week you're blaming the Kelly goalkeeper's shite. There's a reason why Gordon Dalziel said this guy found a pair of gloves in the wheelie bin and just stuck them on one day. He is fucking horrendous. Gave away the first goal by just coming off his line and giving Johnny Kenny a empty net.
He runs over to a tatty and just... it's idiotic.
Doesn't even use his hands. It's almost like he thought he was outside the box. Just dumb. The second goal, I heard this was a great strike for Keelan. And listen, it's a good shot, but he should... The ball's really close to him. If he gets in there...
This is one of those shots where he hits it...
Parried in the post.
Keeper saves it. And Ian Crocker says... it stings the gloves or whoever, and then it's a corner to Celtic, and it's like, can Celtic score from this corner? It shouldn't be. Tierney scored.
Yeah, then the Dyson Maida one, he scores at the near post, and it's not like right. It's not like he's not squeezed it in right at the near post.
His positioning is fucking horrific. Let's call a spade here. He's in. No, you need to close the near post.
And then the penalty. I think Arnie Engels puts it in the back of net before he's even dived.
No one's questioning, right? Celtic deserve to win this, but the goalkeeper was horrific. Just like he was against Rangers before. You're just...
Yeah, look at that. Look what he done with that. It's a good job he did that, because fucking that's the only goal Schmidt's ever going to score, by the looks of things. Yeah. But holy fuck.
Honestly, that's 7 goals against the Old Firm. You look at the goals against Falkirk, I feel like pretty much every goal is avoidable.
Now, I haven't seen all Kilmarnock's goals that they've conceded over the past, few weeks last month, but it's no surprise to me that Kilmarnock are on a 5-game losing streak, and this guy is the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And I think they need to be doing something. Did Kilmarnock not have a feeder club that they can borrow a keeper from or something? Or
See, as long as Celtic had shots in this game, they couldn't lose.
no, I heard rumours that Kilmarnock were interested in both Craig Gordon and Sander Clark. If I was Craig Gordon and Sander Clark, I would take that.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe more so Sander Clark, because he obviously is now third choice. But also Craig Gordon, as shite as it is, and as much as I think Craig Gordon should be the number one at Hearts, if I was Craig Gordon, I'd be thinking, hold on here. I can go to Kilmarnock, I can be the first team keeper. That will increase my chances of getting played for Scotland. I mean, Craig Gordon, if Scotland qualify for the World Cup, Craig Gordon's, he'll be lucky if he gets to go, I think. But he won't be starting.
You're not worried about Craig Gordon starting on Saturday?
No, I'm no.
I am.
But if I was Craig Gordon, I would go to Kilmarnock.
Yeah, well, why not? If you're not playing for Hearts is worse than playing for Kelly.
You got to think about your Scotland future as well. And if I was Sander Clark, I'd go, well, here.
But see,
What chance is Sander Clark? I mean, at least you could say maybe Craig Gordon, he'll get the Scottish Cup games at Hearts.
I don't think a 44-year-old with 2 broken legs fits the analytics, does he?
Probably not, but listen, I think either one of them should accept that deal and get into the first team of Kelly and get playing again. Sander Clark to try and keep his career alive, and for Craig Gordon to try and salvage his last season and keep his spot in the Scotland team alive, because we've just seen that Craig Gordon is not going to get picked for Scotland as the number one keeper. I think he's unlikely to be the number one, even if he's playing, because we've seen that Steve Clark, for some reason, has got a fascination with Angus Gunn. But if both Angus Gunn and Craig Gordon are sitting on the bench, then there's only one of them that's going to start. And Angus Gunn's injury won't keep him out forever.
No.
Make no mistake about it, if Scotland do go to the World Cup, Craig Gordon should be the guy that goes with them. That is 6 games now at the Euros, and Craig Gordon never even got a single minute. I think that's disgusting.
It's no right.
Anyway.
Getting on the plane to the last one?
No, right, Kilmarnock lost. They need to get a goalkeeper in, that is a fact. Aberdeen won, Motherwell won.
They need to get a manager in.
Yeah, Motherwell dominated this game. When they went behind, I felt like, oh, for fuck's sake, no way. They equalised pretty quickly after that, but just couldn't go on and find the winner. Another fortunate draw for Aberdeen.
Good goal for Aberdeen.
Papering over the cracks. In my opinion, only a matter of time before Jimmy Teelan gets the
Hugh Keevins was bashing the fuck at them.
Right, Dundee 0, Rangers 3.
Oh, Rangers are back. We're coming.
Honestly, I wasn't that impressed with Rangers.
Yeah, it was alright.
I wasn't impressed.
First half was good, but the second half was Martin ball.
I mean, first half was shite. Dundee were awful. Rangers took a 2-0 lead. Some people think they should have had a third goal. I think it was correctly ruled out. Second half, I thought Dundee were the better team. Just couldn't, no cutting edge, couldn't get that goal. And it was a good finish for Gassama in the 90th minute to make it 3-0. Yeah, I tell you what, I don't think Rangers are playing great under Danny Rowe, but they're winning games, and that's more than what they were doing under Russell Martin.
He's won 3 in a row. I can't fault it.
Yeah, but the thing is, see as pish as Rangers looked under Russell Martin, if they were winning games, he'd have bought himself time.
Ibs and Butts so into it.
And I think Danny Rowe alluded to that when he first came in, that his main focus was winning matches, rather than playing good football. And that's what you got to win first.
The good football comes after you win matches.
It's different Motherwell. That Jens Askelainen, or whatever he's called, see at Motherwell, you can get away with maybe winning 1 or 2 games in your opening 10. Obviously, with some draws as well. You can get away with that in Motherwell with great football. With the hope that the results will follow. See with Rangers, doesn't matter how... Russell Martin could have been playing the best football of all time. 1 win in the opening 8 league games just isn't cutting it. And he was actually playing probably the worst football Rangers I've ever seen. So it's
good football stems for good results.
Yeah, but Russell Martin had shite football and shite results.
Yeah, so it had to go. That's the combination you don't want.
I'd say Danny Rowe's got mediocre football, but at least he's winning matches, so
Yeah, like he should be. This is me. I'm not going to sit here and gaslight the guy. I mean, most people would be able to manage Rangers to these sort of victories.
No, true, true. Right, speaking of mediocre day for Hearts at the office here. Own goal, Kukurenko. A good shot for Kazaridas, but it does hit the post and bounce off Kukurenko, so it is an own goal. Lucas Stevenson equalised for Dundee United. I thought that Shalot should have did better. He gets a hand on the header, but it's not a strong hand. It goes into the back of the net. I think Craig Gordon saves this. I think Craig Gordon should still be the Hearts number one. I don't think that Shalot is better than Craig Gordon. I'm not. Yeah, he's got a lot of experience in the Bundesliga. He's got I think he's got almost 150 appearances in the top flight of the Bundesliga. That's a lot. Might be even more than that. So listen, he's obviously played at a high level. Not denying that.
So's Craig Gordon.
That's true. I'm just not convinced that Shalot's a better keeper than Craig Gordon. I'm not even convinced he's a better goalkeeper than Sander Clark. I think he's looked very shaky. That Celtic game, right? He literally had nothing to do. Let's be honest. 3-1 win, there was nothing to do with him. The Rangers game, he wasn't really tested that much. And I actually think the goal that Rangers scored should have counted. I think he fluffed it. The one that was given a foul against him. Wasn't enough in that for me.
Derek McInnes should think before he speaks then.
And then
he got a lot of decisions that day.
I think it was 4 clean sheets in a row going into that Celtic game, but he wasn't really tested. Because the defence for Hearts have been pretty solid. So yeah, no, I just don't rate him. And I'd have Craig Gordon in.
I think at the end of this season, he could be one of the reasons why Hearts haven't done anything outside of finishing wherever.
Haven't done anything.
Aye.
Do you think Craig Gordon increases Hearts' chances of a title challenge?
Absolutely. I don't even see it. Honestly, I don't see how you can think differently. This slow guy is only. He's being overrated by the fact that the other 10 players are taking him to heights he's never been to before.
Don't get me wrong. Well, he's been to the German's top flight. Like,
yes, I know, but it's very easy to look good as a goalkeeper if your team's winning.
He'd be a massive upgrade for Kilmarnock. They should take him.
Yo, I know, but look at this season for example, right? Jack Butland and Kasper Schmeichel have probably had a similar season to this guy. Well, I mean, I think Butland's definitely been the best at the free, right? And my point, Kasper Schmeichel, because he's made more mistakes than Butland, even though Butland's beginning to creep up. Naturally, just because Celtic are second, people are going to say Schlow's had a better season than Schmeichel, even though they probably made the same
amount of mistakes. Schlow's had the slippers on for most of the season.
He has.
And
the Kelly guy's wearing them around his fucking wrists.
Well, right. St Mirren now Hibernian free. Controversial offside goal here given against St Mirren.
I want far scrapped.
The lines looked. The lines when they were drawn didn't look correct. That's all I'll say.
No, Michael Stewart said they were covering it up because they got it wrong, and I absolutely agree. You cannot continue with VAR, in my opinion. We can accept the referee and the assistants getting it wrong. We accepted it for years, decades, millenniums, right? At this point with VAR, there's no excuses. There is none. There is literally none. We said it last week. You know, we've seen Hibs. But see, this could just be them evening it up. Remember that Livy game last week? I mean, the line literally cut through the middle of the Livy guy. And they're like, no, he's offside. No, seriously, what are we doing?
That's what Stephen Robinson had to say after the game. He said, quote, "We equalise, we go in front, it changes the game completely, so whether they're onside or not, you hope Farr's got it right, which would be a surprise to be fair. I haven't seen anything back. I got told there was 2 sets of lines drawn for the first disallowed goal, one that looked like the ball hadn't been played forward, which means he's onside. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But if it is, I find it incredible. I can only control the things that we can control. I thought Hibs deserved to win because they kept delivering balls into the box. They kept winning second balls, which allowed them to express themselves. I didn't think we did." End of quote. So, I mean, Stephen Robinson, fair play to him. He's come out and he says that he thought Hibs deserved to win the game. But yeah, I thought that goal was onside.
Just get rid of VAR.
And I've said this. I think lines are bullshit. There is times where. How many times, right, have you seen an offside decision and it looks identical to the naked eye and you're like, holy shit, these 2 lines are going to be drawn on top of each other, and then they draw the lines and it shows he's clearly off, and you're thinking, well, hold on. If the lines are that far apart, what took you so long?
Some stadiums can't do it, right? But no, the only way to do it would be bird's eye view. And I mean level. There's so many angles in these stadiums.
No, I don't think the lines are correctly drawn.
No, I know you're right, but know the way you've got squares, then you've got rhombuses. The lines are drawn like rhombuses, aren't they? Though, where the lines are drawn at angles, like on these pitches. And see, when you do it like that, you can manipulate the lines whatever way you want.
Yeah,
obviously for people that didn't really do maths to a certain degree, you won't know what I'm on about, but it's an angled line, and they manipulate it whatever way they want.
Seen people compare this one to the Celtic goal against Rangers, and I say that Dice and Maida one looked level to me. I'd have see in that Celtic game against Rangers. See if they drew the lines and the lines were drawn on top of each other, and the decision was level on side. Yeah, I don't think you could sit here and say that's wrong. It fucking looked level to me.
Yeah.
And this one looked level to me, but then they draw the lines, and the lines are showing that St Mirren are off by like a bit of a distance, and I'm just not seeing it, and I'm thinking, if he's that much offside, then why did it take them so long to come to this conclusion?
Yeah. Honestly, man, see if you can't tell it's offside in 30 seconds, I think it should just be ruled out, null and void. Because if it's not obvious to the naked eye, then what are we doing?
Yeah, I do think on occasions that they make the gap between the lines bigger to try and save themselves.
No, but see, back in the day, right, when you used to watch football and say a goal got given, right, but he's fucking 2 yards offside, you could tell within a couple of seconds. And it's the same if it was given as offside, but he was actually 2 yards onside. So what's the difference with VAR? Why do they need 10 minutes sometimes?
VAR's a load of shite. That's the difference right there.
It's gone too far.
Aye, Hibernian then, they won with goals from Josh Milligan, Chris Caden, and Miguel Changa Chua. I was going to review this game. I'm not going to lie, guys, I fell asleep in the second half. So, yeah.
VAR put you to bed. Get idiot.
VAR,
tucked you in.
It did, tucked me in without my supper, so literally that night, tucked me in without my slipper. Slipper?
Slippers?
Aye, stole them.
You sleep with your slippers on?
Well,
Casper Schmeichel did till
fucking
illegally put them in his wrist.
Super glued on. Right, last game of the week. Falkirk won, Livingston won. Brian Graham scored a far penalty. Now, Martindale came out, wasn't happy with this decision. Normally, I agree with Martindale, and normally, normally I look at a lot of handballs and go, I think that's harsh. But for me, this one was a penalty. I'm not sure why Martindale's complaining. Stevie May comes out with his elbow raised away from his body, outwards, going towards the ball, and he clears the ball in his own box from this corner with his elbow. I don't know if you've seen it.
I did, because Marvin Bartley was greeting about it on Super Scoreboard, saying that it should never have been.
Honestly, I don't know what they're watching.
Well, I think it's because he's obviously...
And again, it's straight from the corner. It's not like it's taken... There's no close proximity. There's none of that. We don't know where this ball's going. If he doesn't get this away with his elbow, it's going right in towards like the 6-yard area. You don't know who's going to get on the end of it. Again, it's travelled from the corner kick straight onto his arm. There's no excuse for that, in my opinion. I think this is a penalty. I think it's one of the most blatant ones I've seen, actually.
No two ways about it. It's a penalty every day.
But I don't know why Marvin Bartley and
it's unlucky, but
the guy that fixes the TV, I don't know why they're so upset.
He should stick to talking about prison reforms on that politics show he did like last week, because I don't know what the fuck he's on about here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know. They need to far. Listen, Farr makes enough mistakes, I think, without adding non-existent problems to
I'd take Brian Graham at Rangers.
No, but do you not think... Well, I know Brian Graham's alright, but do you not think that VAR is like shit enough that we don't need to be like adding even more like incidents? They've got enough bad ones without claiming they've made mistakes that they didn't make.
No, I know. Yeah, and I think that's a problem that we've got, where people just add them on. Well, what you should do is, Not give them more, not give them more of a workload, but I think it would go well. It's like Marvin Bartley. I think most of the time he gets things right on Super Scoreboard, but I think it's just his bias creeping through. And I think Davy Martindale most of the time gets things right. He calls things out, but it just shows you, man. Everyone kind of wears a pair of tinted specs at the end of the day, but for me, it's a penalty, man.
What colours? What colours Bartley's specs?
I'm sure he's fucking assistant. Livy.
Well, no shit, but like, what colour would you associate with Livy? Is it more like black or yellow? Or do you mix the black and the yellow?
It's just a reflection of the empty seats.
What is it Yuki even said? He says I think he said it on the Saturday, because he said it on the Saturday. He didn't say it sitting next to Marv. He says that one of his friends once told him, like, I don't have the exact quote, but it was something like, like most fans take buses to the stadium. Livy take half a motorbike. It's something along those lines. It's like, it was pretty good. It sounds shite the way I've delivered it, and I'll accept that, because I can't remember the exact quote, but it was...
Livy tweeted that, actually, themselves.
Oh, did they?
A couple of weeks ago.
Oh, there you go. Someone in the media said it.
Because someone tweeted to Livy saying, like, oh, you could take a two-door, like a Peugeot 206 or something, and then the Livy admin replied and said, a bike would do, actually.
Right, anyway, that was it. Falkirk won, Livingston won, thanks to a Danny Wilson late header. Yeah, good wee goal there for Danny Wilson, former Hearts man, former Rangers man. He's played at a high level. I'll tell you what, would you take Danny Wilson at Rangers?
I'd take anybody. Who's going to get the job done? Come on.
No, honestly, would you take Danny Wilson back at Rangers?
What the fuck?
No?
No. I'd take like a Gogic.
I think Danny Wilson's better than De Giga, no?
Well, he might be, but I'll take Brian Graham.
I wouldn't take Danny Wilson.
Maybe pick a mix of these two newly promoted.
I don't think I'd take Danny Wilson at Hearts, just because I think we've got a lot of strength in that area. But I do think Danny Wilson.
The analytics not allow you to take him. No,
I just think he'd be like fifth choice, and therefore.
So Hearts' fifth choice is better than Rangers' first choice.
Pretty much, aye.
Would you take John Suter back?
I've got a soft spot for John. I probably would.
Big match, John.
I tell you what, I wouldn't have him starting though. I wouldn't have him above Halkett or Finlay at the moment.
Right, let's move on.
No, but I tell you what, like, when was the last time John Suter scored a goal? Just John Suter. The only header I can remember John Suter scoring was the offside one against Celtic.
Did he not? I think he scored one for Scotland not too long ago.
Club level I'm talking about though.
I don't know.
You'd expect him to be more dominant in there.
But he's useless.
Anyway, let's look at the league table then. So, at the top, Hearts now see the gap cut down to 7 points. Also, with that draw against Dundee United, it means that Hearts don't equal their best start to a season, their season at least, when in 2005 they had 32 points after 12 games during the Romanov era. No, I was going to say Roman Abramovich, it wasn't him. The Vladimir Romanov era, George Burley had... I'm pretty sure it was after 12 games he got the sack, but either way, after 12 games back then, Hearts had 32 points. This time around, they only have 30 points. I say only as if it's, a million miles away. It's not really, but still, it's 2 points less. The difference, I think, between this season and that season is 2005, you had a much, much stronger Celtic and Rangers.
You did, even though that Rangers team was fucking shite, but this one somehow...
Oh, come on.
Well, compared to the years around it fucking was.
2005 Rangers would smoke 2025 Rangers. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, but I think it just sums up like the natural decline of the league for me.
Yeah, to be fair, would I fancy a 2005 Hearts to beat a 2025 Hearts? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Muscacho, Hartley.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with what Hearts have done then or now. It's both impressive. So, but in terms of the league, Rangers,
Roman Bednar, I believe, was up front in the 2005 season.
I wonder when Rangers. Well, actually, I wonder when everyone else gets their game back in hand.
Not too sure, but anyway, gap's down to 7. It'll be 4 if Celtic win their game in hand. Rangers can close the gap down to 9.
Are you worried?
Of course I'm worried. I'd rather be 14 in front. But look, I don't see how you can rule anybody at this title fight right now.
Hibs?
Yeah, I would rule them out like this.
Falkirk?
I'd rule them. What I meant is, no, people said Rangers have no chance. There's only 5 behind Celtic.
And I think that's the...
And that's the real measuring stick at the end of the day.
Yeah, because as good as Hearts have been, if Rangers catch Celtic, they're theoretically going to catch Hearts.
Yeah, I mean, I agreed. I did say it when Hearts beat Celtic in that game. I said for me, Celtic were still slight favourites to win the league.
Right, I tell you what, it's big couple of weeks coming up.
Yeah, Hugh Evans basically came out and says that Celtic could no longer win the league after that.
Celtic and Hearts have got a bunch of away games coming up. Then they play each other. Rangers got a couple of easy games.
Yeah. But listen, Celtic have got what, St Mirren and Hibs away,
I'll tell you what.
and then they play Hearts. I think they've also got a game against Dundee in there. But let's say Hearts follow this up with back-to-back wins, and then go to Celtic Park and beat Celtic Park before you know it. But if Hearts follow up with a couple of draws and then lose at Celtic Park, they'll be behind Celtic, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, that's that title challenge indeed. So I think we'll know more probably about 16, 17 games in. Yeah. Next few games are crucial.
If Hearts are still top going into January, I don't think there'll be a collapse, but if Hearts lose at Parkhead and end up behind Celtic in points, I think that is a collapse. I would agree with Hugh Evans then.
Yeah, Rangers definitely have the... Rangers, if you look at the fixtures for the next 5-6 games, Rangers definitely have it easier than the two teams in front.
At the same time, Hibs, they beat Celtic. They get closer to them, man.
Yeah, the gap's 5 points. Celtic, I think, in their next 4 games, they've got Hearts at Celtic Park, and they've got Hibs at Easter Road and St Mirren and Paisley. Who's to say that Rangers won't be ahead of Celtic?
No, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Come mid-December. Well, why not? It's only 5 points.
Well, it only is 5 points, but I don't want to get my hopes up,
Right, anyway, guys, that's your league table right there. Livy now only a point behind Dundee. Dundee only a point behind Kelly and St Mirren. Aberdeen move on to 11.
I said that Hearts-Celtic game wasn't on TV, but some guy commented and said it was. Thank fuck, by the way.
Yeah, so that's good to know. But yeah, Livy at the top. Well, no, Livy at the bottom, Hearts at the top. 22 points between them. It's close. It's tight. But I think we're beginning to see that the league is beginning to distance itself a wee bit. We're beginning to see a bit of space getting created.
No, absolutely. And it's no wonder the likes of Kelly are down there next to Dundee and Livy. Because Kelly when you lose 5 in a row...
Yeah. When you lose 5 in a row, you're fucked.
Yeah. Didn't feel that long ago, folks. We were talking about the fact that Motherwell and Kelly...
I'm pretty sure...
had 4 draws each.
I'm pretty sure before Kelly went on their losing streak, they were sitting third.
Yep.
5 games ago, they had 10 points. 5 games later, still 10 points.
It just shows you the difference of having a half-decent goalie.
Yeah. Or at least not having an absolute fucking tool.
Aye.
And that's
what I mean.
And that's what this come on at goalkeeper is. Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Been Fog Football. Till next time. Late out of date. Review. Now it's international break.
Shite, innit?
Yeah. It is weird because Scotland have a chance to go to the World Cup and we should be absolutely buzzing. But just with the performances that we've seen with Scotland lately, it's hard to get excited with this team. It really fucking is.
I mean, there's a really good chance Greece beat us and that's it. Just going into that Denmark game and then we might beat them. It doesn't matter.
I tell you what, see if Greece beat us. I don't even think I'll watch the Denmark game.
I don't think a lot of people would, to be honest.
No, but if Greece beat us, that Denmark game's a dead rubber.
I know.
You'd be better off just see you in March.
They'd still pick the same team.
Yeah. But even I don't see us doing it. I really don't see us doing it. But we haven't deserved to win the games that we've won in the last campaign, the last international break. How we won both of those games, I really don't know.
Crazy. But anyway, that's for the weekend.
Aye, right. Till next time. Peace.